You don't always need a plan. Sometimes it's just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. A very good morning to one and all. I, Mrs. Debolina De, Assistant Professor, Department of Pediatrics, deem it a great honor and privilege to present today's session on behalf management of Rajarajeshwari. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. A very good morning to one and all. I, Mrs. Devolina De, Assistant Professor, Department of Pediatrics, deem it a great honor and privilege to present today's session on behalf of Management of Rajarajeshwari College of Nursing, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. It's such a pleasure to share the intensity of emotions feeling this as we who are present talk about anxiety that might have been a chapter of too many of our life stories. But before we open this chapter of awareness, I would like to extend my heartiest welcome to respected resource persons, Mr. Jason Jacob, Assistant Professor, AIMS Bhubaneswar, and Professor P. Jamuna Rani, Kovai Medical Center and Hospital, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Our beloved principal, Dr. A. Jabarna Kiruba Meri, who is also the chairperson of this one-day national webinar. All department HODs, faculty members of various departments, and delegates of different colleges from different states of India. Today we mark the one-day national webinar 2021, Stop Anxiety from Stopping You, an event organized by Rajarajeshwari College of Nursing, Bangalore, India. We began the program invoking God's blessing for everyone.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
This millennium, and it is considered to be the public enemy number one. This catastrophe has changed the way we live in the blink of an eye. It has not only threatened our existence and our health status, but also has damaged our economic, social, and negatively affected the mental health of students, impacting their learning process. Please mute yourself. Learning process leading many students with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, etc. So, today, in order to overcome all such issues and encourage the students to focus on future studies and how to develop strategies to boost students' resilience and enhance their adapting skills, in this regard, we organized a webinar on topic Stop Anxiety from Stopping You. Under this following subtopics will discussed by our experts. Mr. Jason Jacob will discuss ill effects on anxiety over performance and how to deal with anxiety. And treatment and modalities will discussed by P. Jamuna Rani Madam. Let us move towards the main session. Now, I would like to request our organizing secretary, Mrs. Tejashwari BV, HOD, Associate Professor from the Department of Community Health Nursing to moderate the first session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Develina. When the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. Good morning to one and all present here for the national webinar. Myself, Tejeshwari, HOD and Associate Professor, Department of Community Health Nursing, Rajarajeshwari College of Nursing, Bangalore. It's my privilege to introduce eminent personality as a resource person for the day, none other than Mr. Jason Jacob, sir. Presently, he is working as an assistant professor at College of Nursing, AIMS, Bhubaneswar. Sir has completed his basic BSc Nursing 2007 at Government College of Nursing, Bangalore. He completed his MSc Nursing 2011 in Specialty Psychiatry Nursing at Lakshmi Memorial College of Nursing, Bangalore. Sir did NET examination 2013 Universal Grant Commission, and also he has completed his Biostatistic and Design of Experiment at 2017 NAPTAL IIT Madras. And also he's completed his health research fundamental in 2017 NAPTAL ICMR. And also sir has did systematic review and meta-analysis in the research John Hopkins University, UK. Sir is having professional body membership like Trained Nurses Association of India, National Research Society of India, Indian Society of Psychiatric Nursing. He did many publications, paper and poster presentation in various national and international level. He guided for many UG and PG students for their projects. Now, Mr. Jason Jacob, sir, who is going to mesmerize the audience with his magnetic words. Sir, it's my honor and pleasure to have as a resource person. Please give him a warm welcome. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is a link, right? A few people, about 10 to 12 people were there in other link actually, which you can. Okay. Can I start?
Yes, sir. You can, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning once again. Today's session, the first session is about anxiety, and I'm going to take just an overview about it and make it simple as possible to understand what is anxiety. Everyone can see my screen, right? Hello?
Can you share?
Sir, possible, sir.
It is screen is shared, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, everybody will have anxiety. That's the first thing. Every human being, whether it's a child, whether it's a school-going child, or it's an adolescent, an adult, anyone can have anxiety. Anxiety is a normal part of a life, actually. Whenever we feel something is going to happen or something is going to be in the future, we have such a feeling that we have what will happen, what will be the outcome, what will be the consequences. So that feeling is anxiety actually. But what happens is uh, it is not temporary. Sometimes what happens, it prolongs the normal duration. Sometimes when we feel anxiety, when it is going in within a 5 minutes or 10 minutes after you think about something else, that is a normal process of life. But when it is prolonged for more than a time period, then it is called as anxiety disorder in simple terms. For a person with an anxiety disorder, the anxiety does not go away and cannot get worse over time. The symptoms can interfere with daily activities. Any mental disorder, whether it is anxiety disorder, whether it is neurotic disorder, whether it is psychotic disorder, when it interferes with daily activities like job, schoolwork, or relationships, whenever it interferes with our daily living, then it is a disorder. So anxiety is a normal part of our life, but when it is prolonged, it's an anxiety disorder, and when it interferes, then we can say the person is suffering from anxiety disorder. I hope this is clear about our overview. Okay, let's see what is the statistics says. This is a study from Lancet actually. This was done about 10 to 15 years. They went all over the country and they checked the burden of mental disorders. In that, we found that about 44.9 million suffer from anxiety disorders in India. And you can see the diagram, the slide, that is which states are having highest and all. So among them, we can see that Kerala is the highest one, along with Nagaland. They have a prevalence of 3,600 people are there for 1 lakh population. That means for every 1 lakh population, more than 3,600 people are suffering from anxiety disorder. Prevalence of 3.3, 2.7 in males and 3.9 in females. That means it shows that females are more prone for anxiety disorders compared to others. Lowest was seen in states like Gujarat, UP, Bihar, Arunachal Pradesh, and Meghalaya. And one more study was done in Bhubaneswar in COVID times, in pandemic, which showed that healthcare workers, especially the nurses and doctors, they had an anxiety level of 35.4. That study will come again later. I'll show that in detail. And we also found that nurses have a higher prevalence of anxiety than doctors. We don't know, maybe the reasons are different, reasons are there. We'll come to that in the slides, no issue with that. Next is risk factors. This is common risk factors for all the anxiety disorders. We have many anxiety disorders. I'll be dealing with the classification also, but the risk factors. Risk factors means the factors which are already there in a person, or the factors means when you're growing up, what factors will influence a person to be anxiety disorder, like that. First is genetics. Sometimes our genes are bound to be very sensitive to anxiety disorders. Observe others with SAD. Throughout my experience, what we are seeing is many disorders in psychiatry is learned behavior. When you have children, the children learn from their parents, learn from their siblings, or learn from their uncle, auntie, grandmother, grandfather, like that. So if they are born and brought up seeing others who have uh, anxiety disorders, then they will think this is a normal thing and they will incorporate into their behavior. That's how behavior is learned. Even anxiety can be a behavior disorders if they learn from others. Then early traumatic events. Traumatic events is like someone has made fun of them, ragging, or anything which they see. For example, someone in the family died, or a pet has suffering in the life. So any traumatic events which has an influence on a child when they are growing, that can have a act as a risk factor. Then parenting styles. Sometimes what happens, parenting are too much what you say conservative in nature. Conservative means what happens is they protect the child more than what is necessary. Like they don't make them to go out of the house, they protect them, they put full protection like anything. They don't make them to go for playing or something like that. So for every small thing they feel that anxiety. Whenever the parents are feeling that anxiety, even the children can think, okay, this is a part of life. So they also incorporate that. That's the one thing. Then isolated upbringing, same like parenting style. Inside the parenting style, isolation upbringing. That means they don't, most of the time they are introvert, being inside the house or being inside a building too much compared to other children. That can also create something called as anxiety disorders, because some of the disorders which are there in anxiety disorders have a particular symptom like isolation from others. We'll come to that. Then brain structures, like particular neurotransmitters or particular neuro part of the brain, which can also be affected by maybe organic or non-organic reasons, can also affect something called as anxiety disorders. And last is expectation. Expectation is, see, whenever you are a child or whenever you are an adolescent or whenever you are in school or something like that, there is an expectation, like this child will become like this, okay, or this child will secure this much of marks. Whenever we are in India, especially the children who are in 10th standard or 12th standard or something, there is an expectation of particular child to get particular marks, because that's nature of the society. So that also puts extra burden and extra stress on a particular child. Then this is just, I'm glancing through, I'm not going to the neurotransmitters much. Only one thing is, anxiety disorders mostly are linked with GABA, because GABA is a one neurotransmitter. If it is decreased in our body, it can cause anxiety. Simple as that. Other neurotransmitter which can affect is serotonin and other non-epinephrine. These are three neurotransmitters which influence anxiety disorders. I just shown synapses, that is, if there is a decreased level of GABA, anxiety can be caused. And the organ which is affected, whole this process is amygdala in the brain. Okay. GABA is a calming effect. So whenever you're taking neurotransmitters like GABA is there in your neurons, it produces a calm effect. So the anxiety can be reduced normally. But when GABA is not there, the calming effect is not there. So what happens is the anxiety will be prolonged. That's the problem with GABA. Okay. Any doubt is there here? Okay. I put this slide for knowledge wise. See, whenever we have an anxiety, the some symptoms are there which overlap on depression also, because these are the opposite poles in nature. And most of the time, the serotonin and the non-epinephrine, this neurotransmitters acts on anxiety as well as depression. So what happens is, these are typical anxiety symptoms: trembling, rapid heart rate, palpitations, increased breath rate, sweating, muscle tension, feeling nervous, hypervigilance, agoraphobia, panic, and a sense of danger or something like that. Whereas depression, we know helplessness, hopelessness, prolonged grief, low self-esteem, these things are there. But there is something called as overlapping. That means in the middle, we have something called as excessive worry, somatic complaints will be there, difficult thinking will be there, restlessness. These are overlapping. Why I'm showing this is, sometimes when a patient comes to a hospital, the anxiety and depression, there is a middle line. Okay. Whenever that neurological imbalance takes place, like social withdrawal, sleep disturbances, this can be caused by even depression as well as anxiety. So that is why the symptoms are overlapping between anxiety and depression. Normally we see that in persons who are in BPAD, persons who are in the borderline problems and all. So these symptoms are overlapping most of the times. So we'll come to classification, simple as possible. We are not going in depth like DSM-4 or something. I made it simple so that everyone can understand a simple language. Mainly the anxiety disorders are divided into two. That is phobic disorders and other anxiety disorders. Phobic disorders is nothing but fear, which is irrelevant. And other anxiety disorders will have a classification of that. We'll come to that next. This is phobic disorders. In that, according to ICD, we have agoraphobia, social phobia, and specific phobia. Agoraphobia and other anxiety disorders, we have generalized anxiety disorders, panic disorders, mixed anxiety disorders. We'll just glance through the types. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is nothing but, it's a type of anxiety disorder in which you fear and avoid places or situations that might cause you to panic. That means, as I told in the risk factors, when a child is born and brought up inside the house too much, like a closed settings or something like that, they don't feel like ease when they come out of the house, because the whole life they were living inside the house. So when you put a person in an unexpected area or unexpected situation, they feel anxious or they feel panic actually. Okay, so whenever you're putting like that, that situation is called as agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is type of anxiety disorder in which you fear and avoid places or situation that might cause you to panic. Okay, it can be a fear of actual thing, that for example you see something and you have that particular place you see and you feel phobia, or you feel anticipate means you think about it, anticipate that something is wrong in that place and you have a fear. So the fear can be actual or anticipatory situation. Okay, common places where they have agoraphobia is like using public transportation, being in open or enclosed spaces, standing in line, or being in a crowd. So that's what I told in the risk factors. If a person is staying inside the house for a longer time and they are grown and brought up like that, when they come out of the house, they have this fear of agoraphobia. So extreme or irrational fear of open or public spaces in general terms. Agoraphobia symptoms, when you see a person, maybe we can see sometimes this will not interfere. They will try to overcome this and they will do a normal living. But intervention, if we are identifying early as possible as family members, friends, or teachers, it will be easy for us to diagnose and treat them. So agoraphobia, fear of being alone, fear of crowds, fear of living at home, fear of public spaces, fear feeling detached from others, and anxiety. These all things are linked to one part of the brain called as amygdala, which is a space for fear. Okay, the exact point is memory of safety or something we could say that. Next is social phobia, fear of being watched and judged by others. Social, as the word says, social means interaction with others. So in this phobia, what happens is normally they feel that someone is judging them. Okay, the fear can affect work, the fear can affect school because they feel that someone is looking at them, they feel phobia. We see this in children normally in schools and all when they are starting the initial phases of primary school and high school. What happens is this fear is prolonged till their other high
experiences the anxiety. It is a, we cannot say no one will not have anxiety. Definitely everyone will have anxiety. It is the natural response that is usually in help us to avoid dangerous situations and motivating us to solve everyday problem. Like we will say no eustress. What is eustress? That is normal stress. It is the normal. So when we have a eustress, automatically it will make us to do our work better, make us to do or achieve our goal. We will have stress, but that stress is a positive stress that will make us to do our work in a better way. So that is what it is. An anxiety is also one of the natural response that is usually that anxiety will make us to avoid dangerous situation. Okay, I should not do. If I do like this, I'll go in a dangerous one. And also it is motivating us to solve the everyday problem. So that is anxiety. So this anxiety, it is varies in severity. It is varies in the severity, and it can range from mild uneasiness to a panic attack. It can be a its ranges and all will be varied. Some person will have mild or moderate or severe. Sometimes no, then extreme level they'll go into the stage of panic attack. So it can last for a few moments. Okay, well, it will be there for few moments or days or months or even lifetime.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am. Ma'am, we can't hear you, ma'am. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, now you can hear no, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I was unmuted. I have taken 3 slides also, ma'am. Ma'am, from where onwards you didn't hear, ma'am? First slide onwards?
Previous slide, ma'am.
Previous, this first slide onwards, ma'am?
Not first slide, ma'am. Just previous 2 slides, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, this over? This you heard, ma'am? Hello, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, okay. So it's very thin. That is, it's very thin severity. It can and it can range from a mild uneasiness to a panic attack. So some person it will be there for the few moments or days or months or even lifetime also continuously. If it is uncontrollable, then they will be having this anxiety disorder for the lifetime also. So then only we'll say that anxiety disorder. So the normal person, for the normal person, he may feel anxious just for the limited time. So that's what anxiety will be there for the normal person also, but it will be there for the limited period of time. So once and it will that anxious feelings, everything also will go back to the normal physical, emotional, and behavioral state. Again, he will coming back to the normal state. So these feelings are appropriate only and normal for the situation. Okay, well, this will be there when the individual is having anxiety, but he is again returned back to do his all the physical activities. Emotionally, he is stable, and all the his behaviors, everything was appropriate. It's desirable. Then he need not to be worried. These feelings are appropriate and it is normal for the situation. So for the patient, okay, for the patient or for as a healthcare professional, when we will say they are having the anxiety, when does anxiety become a problem? Okay, so here for the patient, when the anxiety is becoming a disorder, so when we will say the patient is having the anxiety disorder, the people with anxiety disorder, they will have an excessive level of anxiety. Here they will have a excessive, and it is that anxiety is persistent one and it is uncontrollable one. So when they are having this uncontrollable anxiety they are having, so definitely it will interfere with their day-to-day living. As it's Sir mentioned, no, that is, it will affect their day-to-day living, their social functioning, their occupational functioning. So because of this constant worrying, they have started to develop the negative thinking also. And here, because of this constant worrying, here it will affect their physical health and as well as their mental health also. So that's why they are developing the symptoms like restless, stomach problem, muscle tension, difficulty to concentrate. These are all the symptoms also the person has started to develop. So because of these symptoms here, the person would not able to concentrate his work in his in the school, or if the person is in a school going or college students, definitely he would not able to concentrate in his studies, academic activities. In case if he's going for work, he would not able to concentrate his work. And family, they cannot able to take care of their family, they take care of the children. This all the area will be affected very much. And also not only this, they have started to develop more negative feelings also. So that's why here the persons, they have started to, some males now, they started to use self medications like you taking of alcoholism, and the chronic worrying also one of the major symptom of generalized anxiety disorder. The person who is having chronic worry, that is one of the major symptom of generalized anxiety disorder. So when he have a generalized anxiety disorder, or if he is had chronic worrier, So definitely it is very, very harmful for the person, and he will be more tensed, and it will affect their physical health also, and they will develop negative symptoms about the worrying. So this is for the patients here. When he is having anxiety disorder, he will develop these all the symptoms. Ma'am, is it audible? Hello, ma'am? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. For the nurse. Okay. For the nurse, when we will say when for the nurse also, what happen if he is having, if she or he is having anxiety disorder?
এখানেও
She or-
টোটাল 685।
So for the nurse also, when
এই তো 675 আর 10 কত?
for the nurse, if the nurse is developing anxiety disorder, definitely it will interfere with the ability to help the patient. Because of this anxiety disorder, the nurse would not able to take care of the patient, or nurse would not able to help the patient, and also it will create the conflict. Okay, va? So within themselves itself, they have started to develop the conflict, hard feelings, and all they will be developing, especially negative interactions they will be developing. So it will affect the taking care of patient. They would not able to take care of patients well. So that's why it's very, very important one, that as a nurse we have to first aware about our own anxiety feelings. If it is there, definitely we have to first solve the problem. So when is anxiety a disorder? So when we will say anxiety is a disorder, and anxiety disorder is differ from normal anxiety in the following ways. That is, when we will say that anxiety is a disorder, it is more severe. When it is intense one, it will be there for the long lasting. Okay, continuously for the longer period of time he is having anxiety, and it will interfere with the person's ability to function. Because of this anxiety, he is not able to do his daily living activities, social occupational activities, not able to concentrate. Then we will say that he is anxiety disorder. It occurs even when a person is not in a state of danger. That is that what he is having the anxiety feeling, it is not at all danger, but still the person has developed the anxiety and excessive anxiety. Because of this anxiety, here the person has started to develop the flight or fight reaction. That is flight or fight response. That means nothing but when the person is having the anxiety, automatically what will happen? So automatically our physiological response reaction is the automatic physiological reactions to an event will occur in our body. So when we get any stressful, any threat or anything, automatically in our body physiological reactions to on any event that perceived as stressful or frightened. So automatically what will happen? Either you will fight, or either you will that is you will flight away. That means either you will fight with that anxious one, or either you will be run away from that situation. So that we will be doing. So then only we will say that the person is having the anxiety disorder. So what causes anxiety? So here with the person who is having the family history, already sir told that is family history. In the family anybody is having the this anxiety, and personality factor, certain personality factor itself, they'll have an anxious personality factor itself. They'll have for each and everything they will start to take as a, they'll show or act as a anxiety. And ongoing stressful events, anything is there, it's going on. And any chronic physical illness in their family, or he or she is having any physical condition like asthma, hypertension, or diabetes, or hyperthyroidism, any substance use disorder. So these and all will cause the anxiety. So what are the common triggering factors? So what are the common triggering factors that will cause anxiety? Any work stress, or any job changes, suddenly they have changed any job, or any change in living arrangement. Okay, any pregnancy, because a pregnancy person also they'll have definitely fear how the pregnancy will be, how the child will be coming. So all those things they'll have fear, giving birth, a family, any relationship problem, any emotional shock, any verbal or sexual or physical, emotional abuse or any trauma or death or loss of loved one. So these are all the common triggering factors, because when we want to give anxiety treatment, before that we should keep it in our mind also what are the common triggering factors is there. So based on that, if we remove this only, that treatment part also will be very much effective. So we should know what are the triggering factors that make the persons to go for or developing anxiety. So these are all the some of the common scales they are using. So Hamilton's anxiety rating scale, Beck anxiety inventory scale. So that is, this scale is mainly talking about the mainly anxious mood, the tension, insomnia, intellectual, depressed mood, whether somatic complaints, muscular. Because when they are in anxiety, all their that is parts, that is mainly all system has been affected. So they are developing many, all the symptoms depends on their that is system wise it is affected. Depressed mood, somatic complaints, that is in muscular, sensory, cardiovascular symptom, respiratory symptom, gastrointestinal symptom, genitourinary, autonomic symptoms, behavioral interview also they will do. So with these all the components, with that they are assessing whether the person is having the anxiety or not, whether he is coming under this category or not. This is also one of the scale even we can administer ourselves. With that we also can sometime we can prevent. So for that here we can use this Hamilton anxiety rating scale. One more scale is there, that is Beck anxiety inventory scale. So this is also mainly focusing on the components of whether the person is numbness or feeling hot or any unable to relax, or he is worst happening anything, or whether he is dizzy or heart pounding. So whether he is afraid, nervous, feeling of choking, any hands trembling is there, whether he is scared or indigestion, faint. So these are all the components here they are using. With that also here we can able to identify whether the person is coming under this anxiety disorder or not. Okay, so these are all the common scales here we are using. Then sorry, this is the scales commonly used: Hamilton's anxiety rating scale, Beck anxiety scale. I think I have explained this one. So the next one will be the, let us stop anxiety. How you will stop the anxiety? So you have to surprise to your brain. So yes, you surprise your brain. How you will give surprise to your brain? So here you have to positive. Always you have to think positive. Okay, wow. So when you think positive, what will happen? So definitely you will feel more pleasurable one. So think whatever you are seeing, any stimuli also, that you have to see that stimuli in the new way, in a positive way. When you think in positive way, so you will get more pleasurable. When you are in pleasurable, automatically what happen? Your dopaminergic system will be start to activate. So that make you to focus attention and a positive way. So with that also it helps to reduce your anxiety. And talk to your brain. So what you will talk to your brain? You can tell that this is anxiety only. Each and everyone in their life they will have anxiety. Why I am alone feeling that I am having anxiety. So everybody's they're having anxiety. Everybody they are trying to solve the problem. There are some other methods are there also to solve the problem. So like that you have to talk to your brain. If I need any help also, I have a friend. I will get help from my friends. And otherwise there are many treatment facilities are available. I will get physician to get treatments, or I'll get help from my friends. I'll get help. With that I'll solve the problem. So like that and all, you can talk to your brain and you will get some positive reaction. That itself will help to reduce your anxiety feeling. Open your breathing. Always we have to do breathing. Breathing is the technique. Many area here we are going to see. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So if you do your exercise, if you do deep breathing exercise, definitely it helps to reduce your anxiety. It helps to calm your anxiety level. Then practice a new behavior. That means practice a new behavior here. So you have to identify. Here you have to identify that is what is the desirable behavior, what is the desirable behavior, positive behavior. So that you have to try to identify, and that only for that here you are going to use some cognitive behavior technique. Next, in coming slide, we are going to see. So always you have to practice some desirable behavior. So with that also you will start the next management part. So here the management, there are two types of management are there. It is non-pharmacological therapy and pharmacotherapy. Okay, so this is the two main type of management here we are going to see. So that is pharmacological one, non-pharmacological. In pharmacotherapy, that is mainly benzodiazepine, the drug, because it will be more effective in treating the anxiety disorder, because the benzodiazepine, it is anti-anxiety drug. So here the benzodiazepine is the best known one, and it is widely used anxiolytic. It is the inhibitory neurotransmitter. Mainly what will happen now when you take benzodiazepine, so it will be mainly, it will enhancing the GABA action. So when it's GABA actions already, that is we have seen GABA will help to reduce the calming effect. So when it enhancing the GABA actions at the level of the amygdala, at the level of the prefrontal cortex, because the prefrontal cortex area is the most responsible area. It will regulate the fear and worry. So this area only will maintaining and coordinating the fearful emotions, maintaining and controlling the fearful emotions. That's why your, so the benzodiazepine drugs will be effective in treating the anxiety disorder. The drugs like diazepam, alprazolam, lorazepam, clonazepam, even chlordiazepoxide, these are all the drugs commonly they are using. So what is the main thing here? When we are using, the advantages of taking this drug is mainly its anxiolytic sedative effect will be the person to calm and muscle relaxation will be there. But what is the disadvantages of using this drug means mainly it will produce dependence, and like addictiveness mainly will be there, and cognitive and psychomotor impairment also one of the major disadvantages of taking this benzodiazepine drugs. So other than that, it is more effective one for treating anxiety, that is anxiety disorder. And another one is antidepressants. So here the antidepressants mainly the SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which is the first line treatment of generalized anxiety disorder and panic anxiety disorder. It has a treatment effect. It has a very good treatment effect. First line treatment for treating the anxiety disorder, because it blocks the reuptake of the serotonin, the so neurotransmitter. What will happen now? If we are having neurotransmitter or the substance chemical, it is releasing from the synaptic to the postsynaptic area. So here, this drug will be blocking the reuptake of the serotonin. So because of this blocking the reuptake of serotonin, there will be an increased concentration of the neurotransmitter. So when there is increase in the concentration, there will be a greater postsynaptic neuronal activity. So thereby it will be helps to, because the serotonin neurotransmitter, if it is decreased only, what will happen? Many of them, they will be developing the negative symptoms, negative thinking, the suicidal thinking and all will be very much will be present. So that's why mainly it helps to increase the concentration of the neurotransmitter at the synapse area. Thereby there will be a greater postsynaptic neuronal activity will be there. With that, all the negative symptoms will be very much reduced. That's why here they are giving the antidepressants like SSRI, tricyclic antidepressants, that is imipramine, clomipramine, nortriptyline. So these are all the tricyclic group of drugs. So here if we are using more also, it will have overdose. And if there is no improvement of giving any one group, SSRI you have given, so you have to wait for 12 weeks. Then also still there was no improvement, then you have to another group classification you can move. And once the symptom has been relieved also, you have to continue of taking medications up to 6 months, otherwise you may get relapse. Okay, so this is one thing. Then another one more drug, that is buspirone. This is also one of the non-benzodiazepine anxiolytic group of drugs. This is also very effective in relieving generalized anxiety disorder. It will produce less dependence only. So this is what regarding pharmacotherapy. The next one will be the non-pharmacological therapy. In non-pharmacological therapy, mainly here we have to talk about that as psychotherapy, because the psychotherapy is the very much effective, because this condition is coming under neurotic. So the neurotic persons, if we give this psychological therapy or psychosocial intervention, it will be very, very effective one. And here the psychotherapy, mainly we are going to talk therapy or counseling. So we are talking any trained mental health professional or psychiatrist or psychologist or with any professionals here. We are going to talk with the patient. We are trying to explore the causes of the anxiety. What are the possible ways to cope up with the anxiety? So that only here we are going to do in the psychotherapy, either individual psychotherapy or group psychotherapy or supportive psychotherapy. So whichever method is needed, that all the therapy also here is can applicable to the patients. And psychodynamic insight oriented therapy. So here the psychodynamic, here we are trying to mainly what we are going to do, we are intra-psychic conflict. What the patient is having any intra-psychic conflicts are there, or whether the person is having any personality deficit is there, that we are going to identify and making the individual to aware about it. Insight means what? We are making the individual to aware about it. If he is aware only, definitely it will be very effective one. That's why here the therapist will be making the individual to aware about it, what all the conflict is going on in his mind, and how what all the personality deficit are there, how he can able to change that deficit. Then it will be more effective. So in that area here the therapist, they will be focusing. The next one, behavior therapy. So behavior therapy means what? We are changing the maladaptive behavior into adaptive behavior one. Mainly, so here they will be changing the maladaptive that is behavior into adaptive behavior. So we are mainly, they will be they will have a irrational fear of any physical or any psychological danger, or any catastrophic fear of immediate physical or mental disorder. So this type of they'll have a irrational fear will be there, no? So because of that, their behavior also will be in a maladaptive way. So that and all we have to try to change it here. And next, cognitive behavior therapy. Here, cognitive behavior therapy, mainly we are controlling of automatic thoughts. Repeatedly, the person is thinking, I am anxious, I am having fear. So they never come out with that thoughts. We have to try to control the automatic thoughts, and we have to correcting the cognitive errors. Correcting the cognitive errors, mainly we have to break the association between the events, cognitive arousal and maladaptive behavior. Mainly that is cognitive behavior therapy, mainly we have to change the negative thinking into positive thinking. We have to change the undesirable thinking into desirable thinking. We have to change the maladaptive thinking into adaptive thinking. We have all the negative thinking about themselves. I am useless, I am bored, I am idiotic person. So like that and all, they will have all the negative thinking. So that we have to change pessimistic thinking into optimistic thinking. So that way, mainly here we have to focus the cognitive behavior therapy. That is, for that here we have to give cognitive restructuring also. Because we should tell them, when you change the way you look at things, the things also that you look at change. Your words and your thoughts only will create your future. So that is the cognitive behavior therapy, cognitive restructuring, mainly we have to focus. So anyway, we are going to see later in next coming slide, we are going to see what are all the cognitive distortion. The cognitive distortion, negative thinking, that we have to change first. That is we are going to see in the cognitive behavior therapy in depth. We are going to see next, self-treatment. In the self-treatment, what are all the things here you can see means mainly. So you can here, when the person is anxiety, he itself he can manage by himself. He can read some bibliography, like he can read some motivational books, some good positive kind of books and all they can read. And affirmations, that means they can show some emotional encouragement, loving, so that and all they can show. And meditation is the one of the most effective one when they are doing continuous meditation, no? So the research study shows that because that is, it will mainly, it helps to control the prefrontal. We have seen, no, prefrontal cortex area, amygdala at the level of the prefrontal cortex. That is the area mainly responsible for controlling that fear and anxiety. So when we are doing meditation, what will happen? No, the prefrontal cortex area, it is mainly, it helps to improve. That is, it's controlling of the fear and anxiety. It is working on that area. So automatically he will feel relieve anxiety. And guided imagery, whenever he is in anxiety, I am anxious now, let me think about some pleasant image, pleasant feelings where I went, or we are seeing many pleasant feelings, many things we are watching on the video, which is good one. So he itself, he can image himself, and automatically our anxious feeling will go off. Workbooks, he itself, he can do some kind of workbook activity whenever he is getting some kind of any anxiety. And breathing, deep breathing, if we do, so that also will helps to reduce their anxiety. When he is doing breathing, he is focused on that breathing. He should not, whenever the anxious thoughts or negative thinking, the thoughts, fear, worries thoughts are coming and it is disturbing, that time also he has to focus on breathing. So automatically it helps to reduce. And also message, he also, when he is, I am in restless, now I am in worry, I am in anxious, let me send some kind of good message to my friends, let me receive some message, let me read some message in the social media. So like that, and also he can do. And self-care, mainly they have to take care of about themselves, and they can maintain some healthy friendship. Healthy friendship is very, very important one. Always when we are in anxious feeling, we should know, we should have somebody to let out, we should have, then only we will get some that social isolation will be minimized, we will get belongingness, we will get some kind of support. So the healthy friendship also is very, very important one. So we can share about your thoughts or anxious feelings. So definitely that let outing, when we are whatever you have bottled up your anxious thoughts, feelings, if you tell to anybody also, they'll give some better solution. So with that also our friends will be helping. And ritualistic, so you can engage yourself when you are in very much worry, you can engage yourselves in some ritual, involving in yourself in doing some ritualistic activities. And pet therapy, so when you are in anxious, definitely these are all the stuff you can spend your time with your pet animals. And spirituality, definitely when you have spirituality, what will happen, automatically you will feel vibration, positive vibration, you will get positive thoughts will enter into your enter in you, within you and surrounding also. So you will not feel that much anxious. Okay, now definitely some kind of help I will get, that type of positive energy you will get it. Okay, so these are all the some of the self treatment also we can do. And also some of the strategies to reduce the anxiety, that is a positive self talk always. So you should be careful how you are talking to yourself, because you are listening. Whenever you are talking also, you should talk about positive one. I can do, I will do my best. Don't say that always you don't be a perfect. When you want to be a perfect, you will go into the stage of anxiety. Okay, so as much as level how you can give best, you do best. Okay, so definitely it helps to reduce your anxiety. I will keep on working because it's my work. I'll do my best, I will work on it. I am good enough, I have a potential, I am having an ability. If I have anxious, I can able to solve my problem. So like that positive self-talk, you talk about yourself, automatically that positive vibration will make you to feel more energy, and it will help to reduce your, it will not allow any negative thoughts into your brain. Okay, so this is the strategies to reduce your positive, that is you always you think about the positive. And many of calming that is strategies always, that is you have to change your thoughts, that you change. When you change your thoughts, only what happen, you can change the world also, because we are the healthcare professional. We should have a positive thoughts and everything. When we have a positive thoughts, then only we also can change the world also. So that's why here otherwise no, that's what, as a healthcare professional itself, if we have anxiety, then we cannot able to take care of the patient. So here what we have to do, be aware of unkind mind, be aware of, so what is the negative thoughts is entering into your mind, immediately you aware about it, why it is coming, immediately you don't allow. Okay, why it's coming, I am have a potential, I can do. So don't allow any, be aware, because awareness is very, very important. Until you are not aware about your thinking parts, your positive thinking or negative thinking, definitely then it is very difficult to solve the problem. And self-talk, always you have to talk. Whenever you are talking, you should talk in positive way. So definitely you will get more people around you. Many of them will come to get some kind of solution. So always you are talking, you please talk to me, I'll feel more confident. So like that and all, they will come. So power poses. Always you should talk about your whatever thoughts you are talking, it should be have power one. So like that you have to talk. And mindfulness breathing, that is you should have a mindfulness. You can do breathing. When you are doing breathing or when you are doing mindfulness practice, automatically you are bringing all your attention to what is happening right in this moment. Okay, ba? So what happened? Your anxious thoughts, everything, worry will go away from you. And so whenever you are worried, you take a mind walk. You just go away, or you can run, or you can jog. Something you do, mind walk you do. Why now it's coming? Let me go and walk. Let me go and do some, engage in some work. Okay, so like that you do some, take a mind walk. You so go some good places, or you think, image yourself some good places. So pleasant feelings, you just bring it into your mind. Automatically it will reduce your anxiety thoughts. And yoga and movement, because yoga is also one of the good one. And movement, you just move about yourselves. You are having anxiety, move around yourselves. You jog, run, play, or something you can do, engage yourselves. The worry thoughts will be move away. Okay, so next, that is how to calm anxiety. So here the picture, I think, I don't know whether how far it is clarity you are having. Just I will tell you. So that is how to calm your anxiety. Here you have to focus on your breathing. Already we have discussed the focus on breathing. And that is you have to replace the fearful thoughts. If you have any fearful thoughts is there, that is any worry thoughts are there, that's what we have seen many things. So engage yourselves and replace your fearful thoughts, and see that what are all the positive one, how I can replace, how that I can solve that fearful thoughts and everything. You just discuss within yourselves and replace your fearful thoughts, and stay present. Always you have to focus on present. Don't be see what happened in the past, what is going to happen in the future. What is there on the present, you just focus and do your work and everything. And you can talk to phone to lovable person, to anybody to whom you are more loving. So with them you can talk very well. So when you are having anxiety, and also engage in calm activity. Always you have engage yourselves in a calm activity, and play some relaxing music. When you are in anxious worry, just relax, hear some soothing, listen music which is more likable one to you. It will make you to calm. So whichever song you are liking, just you can download it. Now we are having so much of opportunities are there, so you can listen that one. And next, write it out. Whenever you are having the fearful thoughts are coming, you just write it out. When you are writing out, what will happen? No, sometimes that all the anxious thoughts will go away from us. Okay, then you have to reduce your what you have to do. You have to reduce caffeine, sugar, and that is caffeine, other beverages you have to reduce, because it will increase your anxiety level. So that means you should not take too much. When you are taking too much, it will aggravate your anxiety. So that's why you should be careful about it. Limit you can take, nothing will happen. So this is how to calm your. Instead of that, you can go for some eating or drinking healthy foods and everything. Definitely it will boost you and will make you to be more active one. You can have some green tea. So it's all good one, so that you can practice it. Then so this is the tips for coping with anxiety. This is also, so that is you have to focus on what you can change. Okay, ba? So what you can change, the possibilities are there, that and all you can change it. And you have to stop and breathing. So the negative thoughts are coming now, immediately you stop yourself. Let me start to breathe myself. So you do practice that one. And you say you can just figure out what is bothering you. So what and all it's bothering you, just write it down, jot it down. And you after that you see that, so these are all the factors are making me to get anxiety. So let me so how I have, what are all the solutions I can get it, so what I can do. So you can think it yourself. If not, you can get a help, or you can seek help from the anybody else also, or with the professionals also you can get help in case of severe situation. Otherwise you can get help from your friends or your family members who is the well wishers you can get. then you have focus on something less anxiety provoking. Which is the less anxiety provoking, no? So that you can focus automatically. It will help to reduce your anxiety. And other than that, also here you can take a time out, you can listen music, you can do meditation, you can get a message or send a message, you can involve doing some relaxational activity. So this you can do, and you can eat well balanced diet. You can limit the alcohol. Already I told caffeine or aggravate, it's all aggravating your anxiety. You can have enough sleep. You can do exercise daily. You can take deep breath, inhale, exhale it. But what you have to do, focus on your breathing so that your anxious thoughts will not disturb you. And count to 1 to 10 slowly. When you are having more answers, the repeat counting. You do louder, you say. So when you are louder, you say that worries will not that much affect to you, and do your best. So don't be perfect. How much you can do your best. So that best you can do it. And accept that you cannot control everything. In some certain situation, you cannot do everything. So in that situation, you accept that situation that you cannot control everything. It is beyond the one. Like that, you have to accept yourselves and welcome humor. Laughing is the best exercise one. So when you are laughing, what will happen? Automatically, you will release the stress hormone. When you release your stress hormone, automatically endorphin will start to release. So it is one of the natural painkiller. So you will feel very happy. So your anxiety, muscle tension, everything will be released. And you should learn with the triggering with anxiety. What are the triggering factors we have seen? No? So you should know how these triggering factors are affecting you in the when you are in school, when you are in college, how it is affecting you. In the working area, how it is affecting you. In the family, how it is affecting you. So you have to identify, you should aware about it so that you can able to overcome, how you can overcome with the triggering factors, and you should talk to someone. So additionally, also you can add up some point, this tips for coping with the anxiety. Now we are going to see about that is how to stop feeling anxious. So how you have to stop feeling anxious? You have to stay in your time zone. That means what? So here you should ask yourself, when you are in anxious, you should ask yourself, what is happening right now? As I am safe or not? Is there something I have to do right now? Or I have to get I have to do anything, or I have to get appointment for my this anxious problem or not, or I can manage myself. So with that, you are trying to resist with your worries. Let us stay in your time zone. Next, relabel what is happening. What do you mean by relabels what is happening? See, when you are having panic attack, you will be feel like that you are dying or you are having heart attack. So in that situation, you have to remind yourselves that I am having panic attack. It is harmless. It is temporary only. So nothing I need to do. If I do practice some relaxational technique, definitely I can able to overcome, or I can seek help from others. So like that, you remind yourselves. So what happened now? Because of my anxiety, my body is activating fight or flight response. Let me fight, or let me run away, or let me seek help from others. So like that, you should remind yourselves. That is relabel what is happening. The next, fact check your fact check your thoughts. So what do you mean by fact check your thoughts? That is here, when you are in worry, how it is realistic one, how it is realistic. So you are nervous. See, for example, now I am doing presentation. When I am doing presentation, definitely I may be nervous, but I should tell that I am nervous, but I have prepared well. So that what happened when you talk about it, so automatically what will happen, your anxiety level will be very much reduced. That is, you are rethinking your fears in a rational way. Rethinking your fears in a rational way. See to that whether that worries are realistic or not. You have to check. Otherwise, you have to rethinking your fears in a rational way. Okay. The next one will be the breathe in and out. What do you mean by breathe in and out? That means you are when you are taking deep breath, what happens? It will make you to calm down. It focus on evenly inhaling, exhaling. When you are in anxious, you are focusing on inhaling and exhaling. You have to follow, and it will be slow down and recenter your mind. Okay. So this is the next. Follow the 3-3-3 rule. What do you mean by follow 3-3 rule? So you should here look around. That is, what are the 3 things you are around? What is the 3 things you are having in and around? When you are in anxious, you see what are the 3 things look at around you. What all you can name three things. You can name three sounds what you are hearing. Seriya? And you have to move three parts of your body part. You just say about your body parts of your body, any three, like ankle or finger or your shoulder. So like that you can tell about it. So that time what will happen now? So when you are whenever your brain goes 100 miles per hour, so this is one of the mental trick it will bring to your presence. Okay, so this is what follow the 3-3 rule. And next one, just do something. What is just do something? Here, when you are in anxious, now I am very anxious. Let you stand up. You just make a walk. You can throw some piece of paper from your desk. You just throw the piece of paper into the dustbin. So that time what happened? So this activity may interrupt your train of thoughts. Okay. Then next one, stand up straight. What is the stand up straight? So because when you are in stress, automatically what will happen? Your lungs and your chest only, that is your lungs and your chest only will be first affected. So that's why here what you have to do, you have to protect the upper body parts where the hearts and lungs are located. So you should tell them that particular person when you are in anxious, pull your shoulder back. When they have to sit, they have to pull your shoulder back. They have to stand or sit with their feet. They have to sit and open their chest. Open your chest. With that, what happens? This is one of the immediate physical antidote for this natural reaction. This is one of the, with that we can prevent the persons to going into the stage of heart attack.
Explanation and
Pardon, ma'am? Next, stay away from your sugar. So that is, we have to reduce your sugar intake because it shows eating too, many of the studies shows that eating too much of sugar also can worsen the anxiety feelings. So instead of that, you can go with healthy diet or brown sugar, like that you can use, and ask for your second opinion. That is, ask for your second opinion. Here you have to call or text any friend or any family members who is the well-wisher, who is the helper, who will give judging guiding you without judging or without evaluating. With them you can say about your problem loudly and you can get help from them, and also you can write it down with the paper. So with that also you can get a help. Then watch a funny video. So whenever we are watching the funny video, what happens? That a favorite comedy which is they are liking, the anxious person, they can watch that one. With that, laughing is a good prescription, okay, than the pharmacotherapy for anxious persons. And humor helps to lower the anxiety. So the laughter, when you are laughing, automatically what happens? Your mental, physical health will be improving. Your mood will be very happy. So these are all the some of the steps to stop the feeling anxious. The next one, that is how to stop, that is tips to stop worrying. What all the tips are there to stop the worrying? So what is the tips here? Here you have to create a daily worry. What is that? Create a daily worry period. So here you can, whenever you are in anxious, here all the time 24 hours if you are thinking about your worry, we cannot concentrate and do any work. So instead of that, what you can do, you can allot yourselves, I have a worry period 5 to 5:20 or 6 to 6:20 or any time which is the convenient period for you. You can fix the time period. That is the period only I will think about my worries. The remaining period will be the worry free zone and you can concentrate on your work. Whenever the anxious thoughts is coming, now you can tell to your brain or to your body that I have a worry period. That period, let me go and think. Now let me concentrate on this work. Then you just talk about yourselves. The next one, write down your worries. What is that? Write down. Once you have set worry period, you have set. Next, even whenever the worries are coming also, what you can do, you can make a brief note of it and you can write it down. The anxious thoughts, worries are coming into your the day. If it is coming, you can make a note of it briefly and you can start to work and you can remind yourselves, I have a worry period. That period I will start to write in depth or I will start to think about it in depth. So like that you have to talk it. The next one, that is Next one will be the go over your worry list during the worry period. So what do you mean by go over your worry list during the worry period? That means here, say, even though you have thoughts, you have write it down, still also it is bothering you. So you just allow yourselves to worry, but only the amount of period only you have to allow yourselves to worry. I have that is 5 to 5:20 or 6 to 6:20, which is the convenient time period you have given. So that period is there, that particular amount of time only you have to allow yourselves to worry. So yeah, so here what is the main thing you have to focus means the worries are not very important. Worries, whatever it is coming, let it come, no problem. But only thing you should know how to cut down your worries. That is very important. Until you are not able to cut down your worries, definitely it will affect your work or anything. You cannot concentrate. That's why here mainly they are focusing that allow yourselves, you can work, you can think about your worries, how much let it come. So the amount of worry is not at all matter. Only thing you should know how to cut down your worries. The next one will be that is the interrupt worry cycle. So what you will do in the interrupt worry cycle, in that you can get up whenever you are in anxious, you just get up, you just get moving. You can move, walk, run, dance, jog, anything you can do in that period when you are in anxious. When you do some kind of exercise, what will happen? That is automatically in our body, that is endorphin will release, your tension and all will be muscle tension and all will be released. So it will boost energy for you. So that's why it will enhance well-being. So that's why you have to do get up or get moving, take a yoga, meditate. You can focus on presence. Whatever you are doing, you focus on presence and progressive muscle relaxation practice. That also you can do. In PMR, progressive muscle relaxation, you are focusing on your body than your thoughts. Mainly you are focused because you are doing your tensing and relaxing of your muscles. So that's when you are doing, automatically your muscle tension will be released. So your body also will be relaxed. So that you can do, and you can try deep breathing also. So practicing deep breathing, because when you are in anxious, if you are not doing deep breathing, then it won't be effective one. So you have to do deep breathing, and so these are all the way you can interrupt your worry cycle. The next one, distinguish between solvable and unsolvable worries. What is the distinguish between solvable and unsolvable worries? That means here you should be able to differentiate between what is the solvable worries, what is the unsolvable worries. In case if solvable worries is there, you have to start to do brainstorming. There you can list all the possible solutions, you can think of it, and you focus on the things that you have a power to change, rather than you are beyond one circumstances or any limitations. Okay, so with that you can solve, because some things we cannot solvable one. So with that we should not worry. Again our anxiety level will be increasing. Then next one, acknowledge and observe your worries. What do you mean by acknowledge and observe your, that is we have to practice mindfulness. What is that? You have to practice mindfulness. So here you are practice mindfulness. Here you are observing your worries. You are observing and you are identifying where your thinking is causing your problem. So that if you identify only, what happens, you can able to overcome. And you should, because when you are causing problem only, what will happen? Definitely it will affect your emotional part also. That's why here you should observe your worries, how these worries are this thinking are identify. That is where your thinking is causing the problem, how, and it's affecting your emotional part. So that is mainly you have to follow, practice mindfulness. In that first one, acknowledge and observe your worries. That means you are observe your worries. Don't try to control or ignore or any fight with your anxious thoughts. You just like usually what you will do, no, you just allow yourself. Instead of that, simply you are observe without any judging or without any reacting, and you are just identify where your thinking is causing the problem. Because of this problem, how your emotional part is affected, you just observe. The next one, let your worries go. What is that, let your worries go? Just you don't try to control your anxious thought. Engage yourself in the worries when that you got struck. So yeah, when you are engage yourselves in the worries, automatically what will happen, you just don't try to control your anxious thoughts. Allow yourselves, whenever the thoughts are coming, just you engage yourselves, so that you get struck. automatically that will struck. When you are engaging yourselves with doing some activity, it will go up. And stay focused on the present. Always you follow on the present. Let us pay attention to the way your body feels, rhythm of your breathing. So that only you focus it on and repeat daily. So this you have to repeat daily. Take a time regularly. You practice not to get frustrated. You should not, because sometimes no, you are daily you are doing, but still your anxious thoughts has not gone. What happened? You will get frustrated. You will get disappointed. What is this? There is no effective in use. Within 1 week, within 1 month, it will not be. It will positive effect will not happen. Slowly, step by step, continuously. If you do only, we will feel that changes. That's why we have to take time, regularly practice, and don't get frustrated or any disappointment. So this we have to tell them to do, repeat daily. So with that, we can stop worrying. Then next one will be that is what your body, always you have to focus on present, not on the past or future. Okay. So the next one will be the challenging anxious thoughts. This is what in the cognitive behavior therapy mainly we have to apply. That is distorted thinking. This thinking only is called it as a distorted thinking or negative thinking or maladaptive thinking or undesirable thinking. Mainly in the cognitive behavior therapy, we have to change or remove this type of thinking only. When we remove this type of thinking only, what happens? The person will be again he will can able to overcome with this problem. So the challenge anxious thought, all or nothing thinking. So here the person will be saying, looking at everything as black. When you look everything as black, that means if you see everything in a negative, always it will be a negative one only. So if everybody is not perfect, I am total failure. The person will tell, if they are not perfect, so definitely it will be a failure. Total failure only. So like that they will be talking. That is all or nothing thinking. Then over generalization. What even the over generalization? Say here the person will say, for example, if I didn't get any hired for job, never in the future I will get any more job. Never in the future I will get any job. So this is the over generalization. Then focus on negative. So what do you mean by focus on negative while filtering out the positive? Here, anyone has been went wrong also. Here any one thing has went wrong. For example, for your exam you have written all your question exam well, but last question alone you have left. But you will, after coming out, you will say and discuss with others and say that, see, last question I have left, but remaining all the questions I have written well. I am an idiotic person. So you will not see that positive one, that are remaining all the questions you have written well, that you will not see. That's what focusing on negative while filtering out the positive. So the next one, coming out with the reasons why positive events don't count. See here, the person has very much did well the presentation for his anything. Any in the classroom, he has done presentation well, but he will, after coming, he will tell, because of my luck only I did well. He will not see his potentialities, abilities, what he is having, what he have done. He will not see look out about himself. He will see that because of the luck only I have done it. So like that they will be saying. The next one, assuming the responsibility for things that are outside your control. So what is that? Assuming the responsibilities for things that are outside control. Here, some things which is out of our control, for that and all we should not feel. If we feel, definitely it will affect ourselves. So here you should say that it is the person will say, example, it is my fault. My son got an accident. Excuse me, ma'am. Somebody is talking. It's disturbing. Okay. So here,
Excuse me, ma'am.
no, ma'am. Somebody is in.
No.
I think,
Hello, ma'am.
okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. No problem.
10 more minutes are there, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to finish. That's all. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it is my fault only. My son only got an accident. So like that they will be my son. So I have to warn him when he is driving. So carefully if he carefully if he has driven well, so definitely this accident would not have happened. So like that and all, they will be assuming responsibilities which is out of their control and making making negative interpretations without the actual evidence. So what is that making negative interpretation? Here they will be act like a mind reader. say I am I know one secret that she hates me. I like fortune teller, that I know that something is going to happen very badly. So like that they will be talking. Then expecting the worst case scenario happen. That means they'll always compare the worst scenario. For example, when the pilot has been in troublesome, because of that the plane is going to crash. Now that only they will taking as a example one for their life. The next one, believing that way you feel reflects the that is reality. Here the person will feel like I am a fool, everybody is laughing at me. They itself they will be thinking, and they will be say that others are thinking about like that. So these are all the some of the challenging or anxious thoughts. Mainly we have to try to remove. When you remove this type of thoughts and everything, definitely you can able to overcome with this anxious thoughts. And this is the last one, that how is anxiety be prevented. So mainly you have to do exercise. That is, you have to do when you do exercise, what will happen? Definitely it release the stress hormone. You will feel confidence. You will that is you will be confident. You will get so it will be very that is you will feel more happy. So your anxiety level will be very much reduced. Supplement mainly you can take omega-3 fatty acid. If you take, the research shows that it has 20% of reduction in anxiety. Green tea and all you can take. So it's all will be because in the green tea it contain polyphenol antioxidant. It has effect in reducing the anxiety. Light a candle, that means aromatherapy can go. For example, lavender, rose, vetiver, sandalwood, aaron. So these type of some of the you can use some this type of oil. So as aromatherapy, this also make the persons to feel more pleasant and happiest one when he is in anxiety. Reduce your caffeine intake. Already we have discussed. Write it down. Whenever you are anxiety, write it down. Chew gum. When you are chewing gum, what happen? Your brain waves will be activate. Increased blood flow will be there. It helps to reduce your anxiety. And spend time with your friends and family. When you are in stress and anxious situation, you will get good cohesiveness and support. Laugh is the best medicine. Already we have seen. Learn to say no. Whenever you cannot able to do, it is not at all possible, you say, learn to say no. That is assertiveness. And take a yoga class. Always you have to go for yoga class. Practice mindfulness. Practice cuddle. That means whenever you are having a chance to have kissing or hugging, so you have followed that. Definitely it helps to reduce your anxiety. Listen to music. Deep breathing exercise. Do spend time with your pet. Eat healthy foods, regular sleep pattern. If you need, you can get counseling from trained professional. Learn to avoid procrastination. That means you should know that is when you are in you should know the priority to do your list. So which is the most priority one I have to follow, that they have to follow. This way you can prevent the anxiety. Ma'am, still time is there? Or shall I? But I have focused main part, everything. So if it is time is there, I will see. Otherwise, I'll just move on. So as a nurse, the only nursing part I will say. So empowering the nurses, mainly as a nurse, what we can do, help with the persons with anxiety here. We should educate yourselves, move the person in a quiet, calm manner, slow, relaxed breathing. You can teach to your patient, be a good listener. In case of panic attack, you should say it's life-threatening, not life-threatening. It will stop soon, recover fully if you follow good relaxational technique. Assure, you should positive assurance you have to give, stay with them, keep them safe until the stops. You have to be with the patient until the anxiety is going away from the person. And how you may help yourself as a nurse, you should listen to your patient, you should validate their concerns, okay, add perspective, and you should empower your own education and ability to family situations. And this is support. Then only we can do some referral services, what all the NGOs are helping, all we can say, and counseling services. And do in case needs referral services, you can do referral services. We connect with the prescripts of psychotropic medications. Okay, so where they'll get many community mental health centers are there. There also they can seek help and they can get medicine. Engage with the mental health community So because here many of the persons, they will have a stigma. Because of the stigma, what happened, they will not seek the help, because others will, they will think about low about themselves. So we have to remove the stigma. We should tell them it is like physically what we are getting illness, same like we are getting mentally affected. So we should see, try to come for getting help. And because they will have afraid that because friends and family members, colleague, they will think about very badly if I'm having mental illness. So that type of stereotyped thinking we have to remove. Okay, so this is some of the awesome words. That is worry that does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow, it empties today of its strength. If you are worried, definitely what happened, it will affect your strength of today. So always don't be have worry about it. Then making mistake is one of the best way that your brain learns and grows. So if you are making mistake, only we will learn many things, we will grow up. So if you are not willing to risk of being wrong, you won't take the chances that stretch your elastic brain. Then that is, I leave you with a last message that you should be grateful. Whatever you have done for things today, what is I am grateful I have done. You write it down before going to bed. What I have done, something grateful. So you see that grateful things. So automatically, what will happen? You will feel more happy about ourselves. Okay. So the gratitude is the key to happiness. Always we should have a gratitude. So to manifest your goal of happy, meaningful, and fulfilling life, so you're always you be happy, not because of everything is good, but because you can see the good is everything. Everything you are seeing good, for that you should be happy always. Sorry, one slide is there. That is, you can see this one. With this, I have concluding my topic. I think you have given uh, all the possible solutions to overcome the anxiety disorder. So do you have any doubt about it? Ma'am, I am audible? Tejeshwari ma'am? Tejeshwari ma'am? Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
So I am very much thankful for the organizer for giving the opportunity to present about this content, and also I am very thankful to my principal ma'am for giving this opportunity. Thank you once again. Ma'am, I have finished, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, that you have enlightened the various management techniques and the various positive and the strategies which you have mentioned to protect and to prevent from the anxiety. It was very wonderful and informative session, ma'am. Thank you so much that in spite of your busy schedule, you gave us your valuable time and shared the knowledge with us. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Deblina, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sunaina. Thank you so much, Sunaina, for moderating the second session. Dear delegates, if you have any queries, please text it in a chat box. Dear delegates, if you have any queries, please text it in a chat box. No doubts? Then we are going to put feedback link in chat box. Kindly fill the feedback and send. Yes, we come to the end of the session. So may I request to our organizing secretary, Mrs. Tejshwari Vivi, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Devalina. No matter what language, a kind of smiling thank you always speaks to everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of entire Rajarajeshwari College of Nursing family and entire supporting team, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all who made the day successful day. A big thanks to our beloved chairman, Mr. Shanmugam sir, Vice Chairman, Mr. ACS Arun Kumar sir, for their constant support and guidance. Thank you very much, sir. I extend my thanks to Dr. Vijay Nanda sir, Executive Director, Rajarajeshwari Group of Institution, for his continuous and constant support. Thank you, sir. I also extend my thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. A. Jabanna Kirubamiri, for the perfect logistic support and the guidance she has extended to all of us to make this program successful. Thank you very much, ma'am, with bottom of my heart. Once again, heartfelt thanks to both resource persons, Mr. Jason Jacob sir and Professor P. Jamuna Rani ma'am, for their wonderful and excellent contributions to the webinar. In spite of their busy schedule, they have accepted our invitation as a resource person and made this day a successful day. Thank you very much, ma'am. I also express my sincere thanks to technical support people. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months ago. It requires planning, a bird of eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be a team of very motivated and
Last but not the least, my very special thanks to all delegates from different states of India. Without you people, this webinar could not be successful. Once again, thank you all for their active participation. Thankful is the beginning of gratitude, and gratitude is the completion of thankful. Yes, once again, thank you all. Stop anxiety from stopping you. Have a great day. We are going to send the feedback link. Just wait for. Thank you, Jacob sir, and also thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful sessions. Dear delegates, kindly raise for the national anthem.
thank you all.